Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Hello farmers, welcome back to Pacific Northwest. We are on the last day of fall. The only thing I've done since the last episode is take care of the moo cows, the chickens, the sheep. You know, all those fun things that you're supposed to take care of. So, I wasn't sure what to do before before winter arrived, but the sheep are going to eat grass today. We're going to do some fertilization, and there's a great demand for milk. We're not going to get a full tank. We got like 40,000 liters. The good news is the cow's health is starting to climb pretty good. It's up to 73%, which is nice. We have got about 40,000 liters of milk to do. Also, the bioprocessing plant is empty, so we're going to grab some digestate from the BGA, bring that over. But you can see the sheep's grass. Obviously, with winter coming, the fields are not producing too much grass at the moment, so their pasture is empty. But Supreme Dairy 725, 40,000 liters incoming. That's what we're starting the episode with. So of course that means all the way up to the top. And we'll get some cash because, as you can tell, like always, because we don't have income at midnight, because the income is sitting in this tank. Not that I'm not sure if our milk would offset our income, our deficit at midnight, anyways. But it's it's much more interactive by delivering your own milk rather than just selling it at midnight. But yeah, we're going to do the milk first, obviously, then fill it with digestate, then bring it to the processing plant. So that's what we're going to start the episode with, doing that stuff. And then we'll probably grab the John Deere with the fertilizer because it's on there from last episode when we did the grass fields. But we can fertilize the wheat and barley fields. And actually, I think the grass fields could take the last stage of fertilizer, which means we won't have to do nothing with them until next summer, which would be nice. You get it out of the way. It's as for silage, the price is climbing up there. Part of me thought on the 5th day I looked at the price. I'm like, oh, I should probably sell that. It's at $4.70, not in the green. It's just a decent price. It's about one of the best prices I've seen on this map. But I'm like, we don't really need to sell it right now, so I'm holding out for a great demand. We did that a couple seasons ago and got lucky, right? So who knows? I've yet to sell it when the price was good. So I'm kind of hoping for that, that'd be a big income for us, but we got to buy some material as well. While we try to pay off our debt at the same time. Any money we make today, small money like we make today, that kind of slowly pays off our debt. Bill at the bank has been kind of keeping track on. They're kind of pleased that we're not the 1.5 million in debt anymore. We're getting down close to being just $1 million in debt. Still got a ways to go to get there, but in Farming Simulator, it's another $100,000 is not that much money. Alright, so let's make our beautiful tight turn in here with this short nose Volvo. Round and round we go. But we don't have a full tank, so it's not going to be that impressive. But the impressive thing is we won't see the minus number for the rest of the day when we're done, right? That's that's what we're shooting for. But yeah, I noticed the bioprocessing plant was empty before I started recording as well, because I kind of forgot about it. Because we were on the 3rd or 4th day of fall. I kind of forgot now. So now we're on the last day of fall. And it's good to get some of this stuff done before winter hits. I haven't really looked at the forecast. I'll wait until we're done selling here. We're just barely going to get above 0, so that's going to last one day before it creeps up. Let me get out of the Volvo, because when I hit Alt, it kicks another thing. So, looks like it's going to snow right now 3 of the 6 days. But really, the temperatures are not that bad. So, yeah, let me get... I hate to Alt when I'm in the Volvo because it kicks in a whole bunch of stuff. So, I'm going to make a trip down to the BGA, which is... Really? I pulled in here. I can't pull out of here? I think this is why I always go the other way. There we go. So I'm going to meet you down at the BGA. We'll fill up with some digestate and we'll bring over to the processing plant so that thing can get up and running once again. So we can have some material for next year. So I'll see you in a second. And here we are zooming on down to the BGA with my wonderful steering on the keypad. And we will get definitely a full tank of digestate from here. And while it's filling up, we'll probably take a quick look at the prices just to make sure everything's on the up and up. I would like to see 500 for silage, but that may not, you know, may not come around to that. Alright, so where are we? We should be right next to the silage. Where are we here? Probably looking right at, yeah, right now it's 467. So yeah, see, that's like an average price, so it's not the green like, well, right now they say wool is a good price for this time of the year, but we know mid to late spring it's like 85 to 9,000 for a good price. And hopefully when spring comes, we'll get a good price on that. What is the rye doing? The rye price is going down. The price was 670, which is, you know, that's not bad. And we do got, you know, if we add this with what we got down here, pretty close to 300,000 liters of it. So it'd be nice if we get a great demand on that. Especially on that because, you know, if we bring one load and dump it off, the price is going to drop terribly. Not in our favor. So you can see we're still got like, we're going to have like 165,000 liters left when we leave here. Almost 3 more tanks. But since the bioprocessing plant can only hold 100,000, we're just going to make one trip and I'll probably check it, try to check it like every other day. Just to keep that running so we can start producing some more. We lost, well, we didn't lose. When I sold the other processing plant, I just left everything that was in it and sold it. Because that one made just way too much. So we benefited from that processing plant already, so I wasn't going to try to take more from it than it already gave us. This one's producing it at a much more reasonable, realistic rate. And now that our cow's health is going up, we're going to get more manure and slurry as well. And hopefully next year, with our cow's health, we can get more. I'd like to see us up around 200 cows at some point. Yes, we could go buy some, but the way the way it's been since day one on this farm, we don't really need the cows, but we would like to have the cows, if that makes sense. Now I got all these room for these placeables. I haven't put no placeables down just yet, only because, you know, like I said, the money is a problem, and I would like to do the beer factory, which takes barley and wheat and water to make beer. But the problem is we don't have enough fields to make what we need, because all of our fields are going into feeding our animals right now. Eventually we'll have enough money to buy more fields, which then we can, you know, do extra things with. We'll say this is an interesting location for this place, though. The only way to make access through it is through that one little field, really. Is it R? R. Sometimes you try to hit I, then it's R. So you can see, yeah, we got 10,000, almost 10,000 liters of liquid fertilizer and artificial fertilizer. And if we come over here, well, it's not lit, but we can see we almost got 2,500 liters of fuel sitting over there. Make sure we're kind to our fellow farmer by closing the gate to our fields. You can see that he sowed his field probably a couple days ago. He actually harvested his field right after we did ours. So we got right to town and reseeded it. We're going to do ours probably late spring, early, yeah, almost at early fall. Late spring, early summer. Because we're going to do corn and sugar beet. There's like no one walking around town here. Interesting. Right now we're just going to park the truck and the tanker down here. If there's another milk sale, not much I can do about it because we have none. How much of that milk, does the milk drop that much? Not really. Sometimes the prices can change just a little bit. But I do notice that I think the cows might need some straw. Well, they're not too bad. It's the sheep that kind of need grass. But we're going to hop up to the John Deere. Oh, look at that. Just because I said so. And I think what I need to do is, did I not, I want to shut that window. That's why. It always helps if you're on the right tool down here. I'm like, why isn't my alt button working so I can shut the window and do stuff in here? Oh, man. I do that so often. Heck, you've seen my videos. You know that by now. So now I better make sure I switch it back to the fertilizer. We'll open that up. We'll top this off. We're going to be using John Deere quite a bit for the rest of the episode. Obviously to fertilize, and since the T8 cannot have the front loader on it, the John Deere is going to have to go up and grab the hay bales to feed the sheep. Yeah, close the back window on the John Deere because it's 36 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's a little bit on the cool side from what it's been, so we're not used to that temperature. It would feel rather cold for us. I did click it. Yes, I did. Alright. Let's head on in here. And darn right we're going to use GPS in here. Let's do new. Make sure auto is auto set. Slide that course over to there. That looks good. Make sure there's no offset. We'll do that. Do that. And this is the second stage of fertilization for these fields. So when spring comes, we don't have to, worry about getting all these fertilization done. It'll leave us time in the springtime to take care more of the animals. Look after our fields just a little bit more. Maybe do some selling of silage whenever that will be. Or it's going to be relaxed in spring. One thing or the other. And depending how some sales go, I've been thinking about maybe buying some more fields up here and making a big field again. We'll have to see how that goes. I've been noticing where the barley field was. I saw a nice little pattern of it making a big field. So if I decide to buy some fields next fall before harvest, what I'll have to do is I will work those fields only to fertilize them to make sure they're well off. I'll have to see how expensive they are also. You can kind of see there's our barley field right across, and you got those two fields right there, and the one parallel opposite to that one right up there. Those three right there are looking good. And then I want to merge it with that field right there, so that would be those four fields right there. A pretty big field. But that's our goal for the fields up here. We want, yeah, they're small fields, but we'll make them all into one big field. A lot of big fields up here. I would say there's probably 20 some odd fields up here, and we're probably gonna make them into like 4 or 5, something like that. Kind of like this one. This was 4 fields, and look at the size of this field now. It's actually good. Shows you how big this field actually is when you get up to the top of that knoll there. Just a small little piece on the edge of the field. Since we got enough artificial fertilizer, I don't mind wasting some of it, but we'll get this little section right here. I'm not going to do the whole length of the field, because the field does get narrower as we go towards this side. And that is just too narrow of a sliver to bother with, I think. And I kind of decided not to bother with the grass fields at this moment. That way all of our fields will be in the second stage of fertilization. So that way when next year comes, I'll just have that in the mindset. Try to get them all on the same stage. Plus running at ×5, this late in the year, this late in the afternoon, you can see it's starting to get just a little bit darker. Shouldn't take us too long to go ahead and fertilize this field here. Let's see if the GPS is close to one of the edges of the field. Yeah, it's close enough. So if I bring this over here and do a course set, move it over. It's going to be kind of rough when FS19 comes out and none of the mods are quite ready to go. Playing for like the first 3 or 4 weeks. It's going to be rough, not having like GPS, follow me, just you can start naming a few of the mods, and those are some of the obvious mods that I would say 90% of, I don't want to say hardcore Farming Simulator fans have. I'm going to miss my Volvo truck. Luckily for me, the T8 New Holland's going to be in the game, so I'm happy there. Although I'm sure the base game, when it starts off, they're going to, you know, make us have like John Deere's, I would assume. And I'm sure I'm missing a few other mods. Obviously our modded maps that we, you know, gotten used to. I'd like to play on. I've enjoyed this map very much since I started playing on it. I wasn't quite sure when I first started playing it, having an upper lower section. The smaller fields don't really suit me too much. I mean, if I was playing on a really small map and just had small fields, I would just stay with small equipment. But I'm more of a big field, big equipment, kind of a farmer. I like to see things getting done. I don't want to be on a small field with that 3-meter wide plow and not seeing much work getting done behind me. Even though it's a small field, it wouldn't take that long to do it. I would just see not much getting done as I make a pass. Like, well, that's not enough. I'm not getting enough done. But once I figured out, like in this map, I could, you know, tear down the hedges, cut down some trees, and make some big fields. I'm like, yeah, I think this map's going to work just fine. And once I start getting more money, I can't wait to get another tanker for the truck so I can have that one tank up here for water for the sheep, chicken, and pigs. Because the only way I can get free water right now is go down to the river or to that little pond where the cows are. I do have a mod that I could just put up and get free water that way, but that's because the map I was playing on didn't have nowhere to get free water. That when you have 500 cows, I think I had 700 sheep, and I was keeping the pigs down between 1 to 200, somewhere in there. Water could get expensive, so I find. And those, if you've ever played Rattlesnake Valley, you kind of know that those animals are not close to one another. They're all kind of far apart. Well, the pigs are off to the side. Cows and sheep are relatively close to one another. So there's a lot of running around. And you can imagine how much water going through every 3 days. There, that's fertilizing done for today. Turn that off. We'll turn GPS off. I do love these lights on the John Deere since it is getting a little bit dark. Look at those suckers. Yeah, we don't care the sun's going down when you got those LED lights on here. We'll get to leave them on because we need to put the front loader on here after we drop off the fertilizer. Oh yeah, the other mod that's I'm gonna miss once you get playing is course play. There's another mod that I'll miss. Not to say they won't come out right away. When I say right away, I mean within weeks. I don't know if those kind of mods are going to be need to be reworked too much. But things like maps, I know they said maps can be converted over, but the way you buy land in 19 compared to now, I don't know how much that would entail switching all that over and how land is being bought. And I wonder how that affects doing jobs for other farmers, because usually you would do a job for a farmer, get a discount on the land just for that field. So that's going to be kind of interesting how they're going to do that. But at some point we will see. Alright. Now we get to go use this bale storage, which I have never used before. So we're going to see how this goes. And we'll see if the Is it a manure sell point that's up here? That was added to the map after I put the bale sell point down. They kind of intertwine just a little bit. It's not too bad, so I left it the way it was. Every time I see that gate there, I think it's a back way into the pigs, but then I just realize, nope. Central silage sales. It is an interesting place to sell silage. But it's better than putting it over where you can make silage, so you have to go like a few feet to sell it. Yeah, so there's the sell point for silage, and it's kind of into our bale storage area, but I think it's fine. Alright, since I haven't used it, I gotta do this, F1. Open storage menu with R. Alright, simple enough. Square bales hay. I want to... Oh, there they are, right behind me. Okay. I was hoping I was doing that right. So it looks like I did. We only want 3. Now this should just auto-load. Oh, you know why? Because I don't have... Haha, I got the pallet fork on here and not the bale spike. Genius. Yep, because the last thing I moved was the wool. Luckily we're not going too far. I probably should have realized, you know, some of you probably noticed right off that when I put the front loader attachment on that the CV bale spike pillars weren't sticking up and I didn't have it on there. Now I'm just wondering, where are they is the question. Oh, it's right next to, okay. Yeah, see, I knew that. I'm hitting the post of the shed. That's not good for the John Deere or the shed. There we go. And I do know you can fold up the bale spikes. Can I do it from inside the cab or do I have to go outside the cab? I think I have to go outside the cab to do it. So, but I think we're going to be just fine. It's not too crowded here. Yeah, these lights on the John Deere are pretty sweet. And of course, as we get close to the release of FS19, we're starting to see more videos being released by Giants. They actually had some gameplay releases recently. Okay, let's put the auto on because I'm that lazy tonight. Yep, next year at this time we'll have some piggies roaming around. And we'll finally get to make some money by breeding pigs. Well, they'll breed themselves. I don't want to get involved in that. And, of course, selling them. And the road is somewhere in front of us, right? Somewhere. I don't know if this will be enough to fulfill the sheep's needs. Well, looks like that bale... Uh-oh. Will that pick it up? Yeah, it will. So they only need 2 bales. Well, they had grass there as it is, so that, you know, they can take 9,000. So basically 2 bales every 3 days. We'll just put this one under cover. I don't want to leave it out because it will deteriorate. So let's do this. We'll take that off. Can I do that with a bale on it? I can. I don't know if it'll stay there or not. Looks like the bale kind of went in the ground. But now I'll go park up the John Deere and we're going to call it an episode. Yeah, the lights on this thing, you can, working with this at night would be sweet, but, you know, as for recording, not so much. Lights out. But just to give you a rough idea what I was talking about, we'll do a little bit of flying here. So here's a grass field. And of course then we got our barley field. So the other day when I was recording and I was seeding this field, I was kind of looking over. So you can kind of see... Actually, I thought it was going to be that field there. But it's actually these 2 fields right here. And those 2 right there. So we'll make like these 4 fields right here one nice field at some point. At some point. And actually that's such a nice view. With the sun setting on the season. Take a screenshot of that. That might be your thumbnail right there. Of course, you probably already know. If it is or isn't. So if we check on the cows and everything, they should be good until morning on the straw. I'll do it in the morning. Grass, I can't do nothing about that because, yeah. And someone said once, well, you can feed them hay. Hay is grass. But unfortunately, for some reason, on the cows, hay is considered with silage. Hay and grass on sheep. But the good news is the cow's health is going up. We already got 900 liters of milk back in the tank. While I'm here, I should just save the game. Because I haven't saved it in a while. I do have autosave, but you know, sometimes you just you just never know. So yeah, kind of another season done on the Pacific Northwest. Obviously with winter here, not much we can do. The forestry we're not going to do for a while. Those trees, I mean, we could go cut down some more trees if we wanted to. But I think we exploited that at the beginning of the series too much. So we're waiting for those trees to regrow. Now it's just a matter of silage over at the BGA, waiting for that to have a good price. So I don't know what next day will be on the farm in winter or whatever. Of course, we do have a good amount of wool over at the Sheep to Sell next spring. And of course our fields are kind of ready to go up here, except for this one right here, which we do, I don't want to say like a grain, we do like a canola or a soybean or something like that. And of course we got the big field down there, which we're going to do corn and sugar beet at some point, but I don't have a seed roll for that just yet. But that's going to do it for today, guys, as we do a little Superman here. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. I appreciate you watching as always. And I'll see you next time on the Pacific Northwest. But until then, as we fall to the ground, have a good one.